Alright, so today I wanted to cover the wiring and connections for the Xpansion board here. This is a CobraPin product for controlling pinball machines. This is an expansion to my CobraPin main board. So go ahead and check them out on my Pinside Shop, and let's dive right into it. Okay, so we're going to start here with J4, the power input, and work our way around clockwise with the description. So starting with this J4, this is the power input. We have these two pins up top here, which are ground pins. Those are identical. It's the same net. You can just use them for connecting two different supplies. And then we have a V lamp pin, so VLMP for powering the lamp matrix. And then this HV in for high voltage in, and that's for, say, a 48 volt supply for your coil outputs down here. It doesn't have to be 48 volts. I believe I included in the wiki that it could be 12 to 50 volts, for example. So whatever you want to power these coils with. So what you would do is, if you had your 48 volt supply, you would connect one end to this ground pin and one end to this HV in. And for your V lamp, that's for powering the lamp matrix, so you would have like an 18 to 20 volt supply that you would connect one end to ground and one end to this V lamp, the positive end to this V lamp. So if you're running LEDs on your lamp matrix, then maybe like a laptop power supply that's 19 point something volts, you could connect that to this, or if you have the original transformer for a game, then you can use that for the lamp matrix as well. So that's the power input on J4. Let's move up here to J3. You can see this says rows. So J3 is the row output for the lamp matrix. This is the same pinout as on WPC. So row 0 is here on top, row 7 is on the bottom. And then there's also this star pin. That's a key feature that's unused. So you don't need to connect anything to that. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down here for connecting to your lamp matrix rows. These are outputs only. These are not switch inputs. These are outputs for the lamp matrix. And J1 over here is the columns connector. Again, this is the same pinout as WPC. You've got your 0 column 0 over here on the right hand side, works its way to column 7 over on the left hand side as I'm holding it. And again, there's this star pin that's the same pinout as WPC, and it is unconnected in this case. Now, so this whole section is the lamp matrix output. When your lamp matrix power comes in on J4, it goes through F1, and that's what powers the rest of the lamp matrix. So F1 is your fuse for your lamp matrix. So make sure that that's installed and appropriately sized for your load. Again, using LEDs will heavily reduce the current required to drive the lamp matrix, so I highly recommend converting your existing lamp matrix over to LED. All right, moving over here to J2. This is the switch input connector. So you have 8 switches here with the MPF compatible numbering here. So 2027 all the way down to 2016 here. And remember, the center pin is ground in this case, so you can use that ground for your switch connections so that each switch is jumpering between its input pin and ground. And then here we have the processor board with its USB-C connection. So you connect that to the computer that's driving this board, and that provides local power for the processing and control, but it's just a simple USB-C connector. And then we move down to J6. This is the coil output connector and each of your coil drivers. So the ordering of the coil output is labeled here with the MPF compatible labels. So it goes from 2015 down to 208. So that's the order of these pins, with the exception, and cannot stress this enough, make sure you get your order right. This third pin here from the left, 1, 2, 3, has an asterisk on it. Now this is a 9-pin connector, and we have 8 outputs, so there is an extra pin, so mind that extra pin. That is your 48-volt output to the coils. So again, your high voltage in, that's where you would connect your 48-volt supply. That comes in, goes through F2 here, this fuse, and then goes to this third pin, and that is your fused 48-volt output for this bank of coils. So you would connect each one of your coils, would connect one side to this fused 48 and the other side to one of these coil outputs. Now, if your coil has a coil diode on it, you always want to make sure that the band of the diode, the cathode of the diode, always points to 48 volts or whatever your high voltage is. So this pin would always connect to the banded side of your coil diode, the cathode side of your coil diode. If you get that reversed, you will short this output through the diode and burn up your transistor and possibly your fuse, but the transistor will die before the fuse even has a chance to blow. So make sure you get your polarity correct on your coil diodes. Also associated with each output is a yellow LED. You can use these LEDs to evaluate your MPF configuration without having 48 volts connected. So when 48 volts is connected, you risk blowing something if you've wired something incorrectly or configured it incorrectly. So I always recommend checking your MPF configuration and actually running your game, but not having 48 volts on. And that way you can look at the LED outputs here and see, is the coil doing what I expect it to do, or is a flipper coil, for example, just being driven on for no apparent reason, and or some other coil, and that would cause a fuse to blow. You may burn up a coil, you may burn up an output. So always check your configuration using these LEDs without 48 volt powered on. All right, that's about it for the Xpansion board. Again, you can purchase these off of Pinside in my Cobra Amusements Pinside Shop. And just so you know, I've got a lot of information up on the Pinball Makers wiki page for CobraPin, so go ahead and check that out. I've also got a bunch of information and documents in the CobraPin Github page, so I'll link to both of those in the description below. I did want to say, Mr. Big, this one is for you. I made this video for you, but hopefully it can help other people. If you found this helpful, leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye.